It's a story of how one email began my career, began my pathway for an accessibility advocate. In 2022, as when I was only 11 years old, I went on a number of family outings, and two outings particularly stood out. The first outing was for a family holiday in Dorset, where I went to a fossil walk, and yes, I do endorse it, pun intended there. But of course, jokes aside, it was very good. Well, not only did I actually find a lot of fossils, but also the service was amazing. The staff members actually let me touch the specimens, and of course, I left a feedback form. And I think what I say is that one feedback email could have theoretically started my whole career as an accessibility advocate. One email started this all. Not a lesson in school, not me just saying, oh, I'm thinking of this idea to do an access guide, and not even my channel being set up on the 20th of January. None of those things started it. I know what did start it, and it isn't what you think. And I went somewhere else, I think it was a National Trust place in Kent, where they were developing a new, I don't know how to describe it exactly, it's like a sort of virtual tour thing for people with VI audio description, and I remember that. Remember, of course, I'm visually impaired myself, so I'd like to sort of give feedback. And I know what you're gonna say. You're probably gonna say, well, he can walk, he can talk, everywhere's accessible for him. But no, I mean, I may be disabled by going to the gents' toilet sometimes. So I realise. But on the other side, I am disabled. Hidden under those blue eyes of mine is visual impairment, and that's permanent. So of course, I have visual impairment, and that's one of the reasons I needed to use a lot of large print guides or special software, usually audio descriptions. That's why when I go to cinema or some museums, there's audio described places. And that's another reason why I generally don't like going around places for long periods of time. It was just lots of strain. So, I started the idea of an access guide probably in 2022 with those two feedback emails. In 2023, I think it was, there was a lesson in schools asking what you want to do. I remember saying I'm going to do an access guide. And then in 2024, I made my first access guide for Ely Station on the 5th of January. And I was the first person, aside from the media, to take a video of the changing places toilet situated on platform 1. Now, for those that don't know, there's a reason why Ely Station's my favourite station, and no, it's not because I live in Ely and it's the station that's very dear to my heart. It's for another reason altogether. I'd say it's the most accessible railway station over here. It's the only railway station in East Anglia with a changing places toilet in it. And believe it or not, it's interesting they chose Ely as an example and not one of the London termini. Although, good to see Ely. And of course, a lot of other things as well. Lots of spacious facilities, very clean, very modern in there. So I made my first access guide for Ely Station. You're probably wondering, why did he do it in the late evening? Why does he not provide measurements? Well, of course, I don't really want to be seen with a tape measure in the toilet, because what would people say to that? Of course, I mean, I know there have been some people on YouTube that have been saying, fellow YouTubers like me who do hand dryers and so on, who have recently said in a number of posts, I mean, after disclosing their disability, they say something like, well, should disabled toilets have more inclusive signage on them? Well, I don't particularly care. No staff members or people have been saying, well, you can't go in there because you aren't disabled. well, I don't care if I'm wearing that lanyard or I'm not wearing the lanyard, I'm still disabled. And again, on the other side, disabled toilets aren't just for people with a disability, because, believe it or not, if one of the main one's out of order, you're going to have to use the disabled toilets, aren't you? Unless you want some very awkward moments. I'm at Ely Station, and that's the first proper access guide I've done. The 22nd of June 2024 is quite another date. It's a day before St Etheldreda's Day. And if you don't know already, St Etheldreda's Day is the 23rd of June. So, quite fitting, I've done a guide for a venue in Ely, quite close to then. That's McDonald's in Ely. Now, if you've watched the channel recently, and I know someone that knows me has also seen me recently and saw me at McDonald's chain doing the access guide, I have remade the access guide. It's a special access guide, known as the talking access guide. But what I didn't realise then is that, no, I'm not the pioneer. Access Able is. They're always doing something, I don't know it. Although the thing is, they've only done these special access guides for only like 2 places. But I'd say the one I'm sort of more mainstream have done more of these guides. I include music on top of them. The first one has a voiceover. I generally pick an AI voice because I don't really like to use my own voice in a lot of videos, except for this one, obviously. And the talking access guide is quite special. Basically, pictures of the venue with captions for people via, but also kind of visualises what the venue looks like. A lot of people probably haven't seen this venue before. And of course, my second access guide didn't come until 3 months later, where I did a guide for not Bletchley Park, KFC in Ely. I have also done one for Bletchley Park, and I've done one for the Street Cafe in Ely, and Sainsbury's in Ely, and Cambridge North Railway Station, and Costa Coffee in Ely. That's the one, the Leisure Village, not the one in Market Street, in case you don't know. I think that those are all the milestones I have to tell you. So if you do enjoy watching this video about Ely Access Guy, please do like and subscribe. And we hope to have 125 of you guys before the end of the year.